I'm Kevin Trapani. I'm president and CEO of the Redwoods Group. And we are an insurer. We're the largest insurer of YMCAs and JCCs in the country. And I think it's safe to say we're pretty deeply connected with our community. We didn't start Redwoods to make money, which sounds kind of like a strange thing for a company that's a for-profit company. We started the Redwoods Group to protect and improve the quality of life in the communities that we serve. And we did that for a lot of reasons, but most important, you probably should understand, there's 3,500 insurance companies in the United States. The world did not need another garden variety for-profit insurance company. We wanted to do something fundamentally different. And so we started the company to work for a higher purpose. And I think it's important to understand that if we can do that in the insurance space, any business in any space in the world can help to promote powerful, positive social change. That's what our company exists for, and that's why we're here. I grew up in a family, my dad ran veterans hospitals, and that was a kind of a selfless job to have. We moved around the country, and my dad ran hospitals and served wounded veterans. That's what his life's calling was. And I don't think there was a day in my life when my mom or my dad didn't say to me, of those to whom much is given, much also is expected. I apparently needed some reminding, probably as a little guy. And so that's been a part of my life forever. It's part of my faith community, but it's important to understand that even in a non-spiritual way, the idea of the greatest of us helping the least of us is central to any sustainable community. And so I spent a lot of years really blessed to be working with smart people in good businesses, but trying to find the proper intersection of what Jeff Swartz from Timberland calls the intersection of commerce and justice, which is what businesses can be. And so that's what was kind of in my head anyway when we started thinking about this experiment called the Redwoods Group. So what works best for us is just two words: serve others. That's why the company exists. And we do that in three fundamental ways. For our customers, for our employees, and for our community. Now they're related. So the way we work with our customers, and frankly, any insurer can do this, but most insurers have too much of an arm's length relationship with their customers. We insure YMCAs and JCCs and camps. And so fundamentally, because of where we exist in the transaction chain, we know a ton about what circumstances exist when somebody gets hurt. We can aggregate that data and understand how Ys or Js or camps operate, and help them to understand how to change their operations so as to lessen the likelihood that somebody would get hurt or, God forbid, die. So that's the kind of quantitative side of what we do. But you can't get folks to change what they do if they don't trust the people telling them what they should change. So we work hard to develop intimate relationships with our customers. We made about 3,000 visits to our customers last year. We trained probably 45,000 camp counselors in 30 days this year before camp started. That's a hugely important way to protect the community. So fewer kids are sexually abused, fewer people drown, fewer people die when 12 or 15 passenger vans roll over, all as a result of the kind of work we do with our customers. It's kind of one circle. Let me skip to the community. Because, quite frankly, we give away most of our profits to charitable causes. But in addition to doing that, frankly, we require our people to work at least 40 hours of business time in service to the community. So they effectively get a week of vacation to do nothing but serve. Now, we don't tell them where to do that. Each person has their own passion. We help them define connections, and then they go serve. So we had almost 4,000 hours last year of community service time during business hours. And what we find is, when our folks serve the community in that way, now we've created some positive social change in the community, but I want to go back up to how we work with our employees. Our employees are now connected with the community in a way they wouldn't otherwise have been. Now, to do that, to help somebody think externally, to think communally, we have to be focused, as Maslow taught us, on making sure that their most basic needs are satisfied. Somebody who's worried about whether they have a job or whether they can take their kid to the doctor at the end of the day is not going to be able to think communally. They just can't. They have to have those needs satisfied. So as an employer, we make sure to take care of their health care. We make sure to take care of, if there's time to send their kids to college, we pay the first $5,500 of their kids' college expenses. So effectively, we remove the barriers to kind of basic financial security for them so that they can think outside of the box. So customers and our staff, and then we convert our staff into serving the community, and that's kind of how we serve others. Every business can work for positive social change, and it's most important for folks to understand no business can be sustainably successful in a community that's failing. If a community is failing, there may be a business that can succeed as a predator or an opportunist for a short period of time, but not over the long period. So we are of our communities. A community that's failing will end up resulting in all businesses failing in that community. So it's even just from a commercial point of view, it's important for businesses to invest themselves in the overall success of their community, whether that's adequate access to education or housing or healthcare for its people, or a sustainable environmental component, whatever it might be. Businesses need to be invested that way. Even if a business isn't so overtly as focused on positive social change as Redwoods is, every business needs to be engaged in it in some way. What happens is when you engage yourself in improving the community around you, your folks develop a broader context within which to view themselves and their world. And frankly, all of a sudden you end up with folks there's less infighting, there's less political posturing, there's less self-serving orientation. People begin to subordinate their self-interest a little bit in pursuit or in service to others. And you end up with a more balanced environment in your business. A more balanced environment allows you to serve your customers better. So what we find here is very high customer satisfaction, a voluntary turnover rate over 10 years of less than 3%. Almost any business, and a customer renewal retention of 96, 97%. Those metrics hold up against any kind of business anywhere. So to me, if you don't believe in doing this because it's the right thing to do, you should believe in doing it because it's the profitable way to go.